Hey guys, it's Cindy over at paper.old.new. Thanks for coming by and spending some time with me. If you were here earlier in the week, then you saw the making of my mess video where we disassembled an altered book to repurpose the pages. I mentioned that the inspiration came from a video I saw Tina do where she was talking about how if you have an altered book or something like that you tried to put together and the binding didn't hold up, or for some reason it just was not working, you could take it apart. And what she did was she gathered up all the pages, created a new cover, and rebound the book. She did it with ribbon, but in the style of a 3-ring binder. You know, she punched holes and then tied the ribbon through. I have decided, inspiration-wise, I have broken down an altered book. It was the first altered book I ever made. It was falling apart. I was trying to decide whether or not to try and salvage it. And what I decided after I saw that video was that I was going to take it apart and see if I could make things out of what I built it with. So in that vein, we are going to see if I can use some of these pages in this eclectic accordion book that I've been working on. And I'm just going to go signature by signature and see if we can put some pages in here. Now this one starts off kind of green. I do have a page back here that I wanted to... So I put this page from an art book in here because I liked this picture of this little colonial adventurer guy. I want to keep that picture, but I don't necessarily like the rest of the page that I folded in here. So what I want to do is use this one as a wrap. And these pages are actually bigger than my book, so I've got some trimming room. So what I'm going to do is we're going to cut this down to where it needs to be. And by saying that, I think I'm going to cut 1/2 inch off of each side. The book signatures are 8 inches tall. So what I'm thinking is, I think my book pages are 9 inches tall. I think the signature pages are 8 inches tall. So I'm going to take about 1/2 inch off the top, which should open up my glue margin. Right? We'll have to see how this ends up on the other side. So we took 1/2 inch off the top. Oh, it messed up my notch, but that's okay. We can redo the notch. And then we're going to take another 1/2 inch off the other side and make this 8 inches tall. And we get to keep our pocket and our butterfly and everything. So yeah, and that opens it up. And my thought was, this pocket is still, well, no, it's open down that side. My thought was to then sandwich it around. Now, obviously, there we go. Okay, now, so we can glue one side to the page like this, right? I think we'll glue it to this side. And then what I'm hoping is, oh, that's going to make him upside down. I mean, they can fly upside down, but I don't know that I want this side. So you know what the beauty of this is, since the pocket came apart? I can use this side here, but I need another page to glue it to. And we might have to cut a little notch in it. Okay, so I know I want to use that there. I don't want to put this here just because I don't want the brown wood against the brown. I don't like that. Okay, now on the other side though, I can glue this on here, right? And then we can put trim on there. Because this is still a pocket. Well, after I glue all the cut apart areas, it's still a pocket. All right, so let's glue this back together and then we'll glue it down to that page. Okay. So we're going to do like that. I also think I'm going to reclip this notch with this so that it doesn't look like, well, if I can get it to open up. Yeah, I think I'll reclip it. There we go. That's better. Oh, good. And I just missed the words because I wasn't paying attention. Okay. And then this side over here also needs regluing. I don't think it seems to be holding for part of the page. So I guess I wasn't very straight glue line. The rest of this seems to be holding okay. So I'm just going to leave it alone. I'm not going to pull at it too much. All right. Okay. Now, what I'll do is we'll take this out like this, set that right up there, giving myself no space to work again. And we're going to glue this on here, like so, right? And I'm just going to glue the whole back down. So we're just going to cover this part with glue. I think it's a good way, you know, having disassembled this book and getting ideas for what to now use it for. It's a good way to take these old projects and give them new life. Because this was sitting in a little bin on the top of my shelf. And I kept looking at it going, do I want to finish it? What do I want to do with it? This altered book. And I saw Tina's video and I was like, you know what? I'm going to take that altered book apart and see if I can make stuff out of the pages that are there. Okay. So we have that on there like that. And then I can do a couple of things. I can actually put a tuck on here if I wanted to. I have my bone folder out. I was going to say I should get my bone folder out. Okay. All right, so that's one side. Now the other side, what I need to do is find a different back for, what did I say? That's going to go up against this, right? It's a thought. Let's have that sit there and see if I see anything else. Oh, there's these. This one I said same thing. It's pretty much... I kind of don't mind that either. That's what I need to do. Give myself like tons of options. What about this one? They're very whimsical, aren't they? Decisions. And who's to say, I mean, I can also rearrange a little bit once I do this. I'm leaning more toward this. And I'm thinking that I might do a little rearranging after I do this. So let me put that up there. And then I think what we'll do is we'll glue this down, well, after we cut it. And I think for this one, I'm just going to cut the top off. So we need to make it 8 inches tall. I'm cluttering it up again. Making myself a mess. 9 to 17, so we go 8 inches tall. And we're going to put this right on here. Okay, so it's going to go with this on the other side, right? So it's going to be like that. And to glue the white page to either, I need to take a little bit of a strip off of here because it's showing in the V and I don't like it. And it doesn't have to be even because you're not going to see it. So I just want to take some off. I don't like where it was peeking out. I didn't like it. Okay, I think I'm going to glue it down to this half to try and like smooth out this seam just in case so nothing gets caught on it. And that way, of course, then you've got the seam going in, but you know, I'll show you what I usually do for those in case you're curious. Okay, so we need to put this right on here. I don't want to go all the way up to the fold. It is going to get sewn in, so I don't want it to. All right, let's open it because it looks like it's. And I say I have a bone folder out here, and then I moved it and I buried it. Guys. Right up along here. I want to make sure this is down really good. No space under there. There's not really a heavy lip there, but normally what I'll do is I'll take a piece of tape. And because typically this tape is thinner than whatever paper I'm putting down, if it goes... This masking tape does not have good tack. So I'm going to run it across my glue stick. And then because the tape is thinner than the paper, it provides kind of a... It kind of smooths the seam out. So that lip is not as high as the paper, even though the paper is only like point whatever millimeters. It kind of smooths that out, right? So when you're sliding something in the pocket, it doesn't catch. Right, and then I'm going to cut the tape so it's not sticking out. And then we're going to glue this on just on the 3 sides, right? Actually, we're going to have to take a smidgen off the edge. It is just slightly too wide. So, okay. And we still have to glue that pocket down. Oh no, I was doing it over to the... I wasn't doing it over to the fold, I was doing it over to the... Oh, never mind. Well, if it shows, it'll be painting. Guys, that's what I get for not paying attention. Okay, so that's the outside, so we're going to glue around these 3 sides. And now that I know how to put pockets in, my glue lines will be thinner, and my pocket, I won't lose as much real estate. I tell you what, guys, the margins of glue that I had on these pages, and the fact that I was only gluing around the outer edges to put the scrapbook paper on the book page. First of all, it's funny. But second of all, it's, I mean, it made a huge difference in these pockets. Of course, I took an inch off anyway because I had to make the pages shorter, but I just think it's funny. hopefully the way that sews in. All right, I'm going to put glue right up along here. Ooh, cap my glue stick before it dries. Ooh, that's a big clip. You know what? If I'm going to clip it like that, I need to ink it. Because these two papers are kind of blending together. It's also open right there, which I'm going to have to fix. A lot of fixing going on. Well, I guess when you take a book apart and try to reuse its parts. Oh, I don't want it to glue there. Okay. Yeah, this, because of the way I glued things, oh, maybe it's just a little bit. Let's just put a little bit of glue right there. It's like I can get my finger in there and then I can't get my finger in there. Wow, guys, spent all this time and we've gotten one page extension done. Goodness gracious. Like I said, I've said it before. I am always amazed that this stuff takes me longer than I think it's going to. Okay, now what I want to do is see if I like this where it was, or well, that stayed the same. Or if I want to do this and move the ledger page in more. Because then that'll be against there, and that'll be against there, and I don't mind either of those. This will be against here, that's against there. Okay, so far. And that divides that up, which I like much better. Okay, we're going to do that. So we moved that. Now, man, that took a minute. The other pages I was thinking about doing something with are these book pages. Not a huge fan. I don't know that I'll use these in books anymore, but right now I can use it as a vehicle for, let me show you what I was going to do with one of them. Oh, it's this, isn't it? Yeah. So, I was thinking about making one of those fold around pockets. So this was a page that had pockets like that, right? And if I turn it on its side and fold it in half, I was thinking I could put it in here wrapped around there. I do have to, however, we're going to take this out like we did before, and we're going to trim the edge. Well, I really only need to trim this edge. The question is, how much do I need to trim it? Only about 1/4 of an inch. Okay. All right, so we're going to take 1/4 of an inch off. And then this will fold around here and fit in here like that, if I can get it to lay flat, which it is resisting heartily. It's going to make that a really thick page. I don't know, guys. That might not be a good idea. Just because of how thick it would make that page. I'm wondering if we could just take off one of the layers and do it like this. I think we might do that. Okay, so what I need to do, since I can get it in there, we're going to do a little punch. There. And there. And then like that. And I'm going to round, I'm going to round my corners. Try and clean it up a little. Yeah, maybe. Let's try it by itself. Okay, that one's as round as it's going to get. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to get my bone folder and we're going to put a really good crease in here because it's really wanting to knot. And actually, you know what I might do? Take that edge off. I made this page shorter. I like it better on this side than the other side because of what's sticking up there. And this end is causing me grief. I guess this isn't turning out to be all that exciting a video. I was kind of hoping we would be able to get quite a bit done, but I'm struggling to get the... Still in my glue margin, though. I'm struggling to get... It takes a lot of work to make this stuff fit, if that makes sense. So, as I'm doing this, I'm running across whatever little problems that arise from taking these book pages out of their book and turning them into stuff for this book. Okay, so hopefully, does this fit now better? Oh, nice. Okay. So all we have to do is glue it. I mean, if it's glued on both sides, I feel like you shouldn't have to glue down the middle over here. And we can make up for some pocket real estate, so to speak. Okay. Now I just got to get it to stick. Because it's wanting to curl and curve. And just be generally naughty. Okay, and then we'll go to the other side and do this one. I didn't even look to see if this went with the pages that it's going up against, but we'll just have to get... I'll just have to tie it in with the decorating if it doesn't go real well, because I wasn't thinking about it and I didn't look. The ink's coming off in the glue residue. Okay. And that went right in here. So yeah, it's not awful against there, but we definitely need to do some tying in. Okay, so that was that one. And, oh, I'm trying to grab the book. No escaping. Okay, we're going to leave this one as is and this one as is. The ledger paper can stay. That's going to need fixing there. And I don't know if I want to do anything to this side or not. I've got the pile of ephemera that came out of the book over here. Oh, that would make a cool tuck. I have to hold on to that for a tuck. This will also make a cool tuck. Yeah? One here. Goes this way. Trim it up some. Okay, it's got all the right colors in it. Okay, so we're going to trim this a little more straight so it can go along the bottom of this page. Trim that off of there. I don't know about the top. It's going to go there like that. Oh, the top's going to have to get cut anyway. It's taller than the page. Okay, so let me think here. Well, let's take the page out. It seems to be easier to do it that way. Okay, and I'm going to glue it just to this side of the crease. And I think we'll do two sides, right? And then, oh, that is really bad. Actually, you know what? I'll just get a piece of glue page and glue it down. So we'll get these on here. This is kind of like still working on signature pages, so not at the embellishing phase yet. And this tuck will probably get more stuff put on it. Okay, so this is just glue page. So good way to repurpose. Yeah, this particular tuck was made by gluing two strips together. So there was an overlap back there, which was creating a ridge. And I, to be perfectly honest with you, didn't check if it was a ridge going in or out. So I don't know how much of a difference it would have made, but better to be safe than sorry, right? I'm not going to cut that until I cut the top of the tuck. All right, and we're just going to put that down on there like that. Good, good. So this way. Yeah. I'll get it in a minute. Is that high enough? About to find out. I dropped it. Okay. So in this case, we used a piece of the ephemera that was tucked in one of the pockets in the book. And we got a nice little tuck out of the deal. It's really thick right there in the middle, where there's like, not exaggerating, there's probably about 6 pieces of paper there. Okay, and then maybe No. I'm just gonna, that'll work. All right. So that will get put, I gotta put it back. It goes right here. Okay. All right, and that is the first signature. Better off than it was. I have not added any dyed paper to this yet. Okay, well, next, let's see if we can get some in this one. Okay. All right, so we have this, the music page I don't want to do anything with. For this time, actually, you know what I might do? Where are the little, let's see if I can find them. Probably should have kept this a little better organized. We can hold on to that. We'll use it as a tuck. These. Okay, found them. These guys. I figured maybe we could glue one of these in. So I'm going to trim the book page edge off. Because this pocket is already glued, and I know that that little bookmark that's in there fits, it may remain as the ephemera that fills this pocket, just because I know it fits. It's very tiny. It's a strip cluster, and it still needs a focal point, but it's, you know, at least it fits. I mean, it's got a little bit of wiggle room. I suppose I could make something a little wider, but we'll see. All right, so what I was going to do is glue it down on here as a tuck, right? Okay, let's take the page out. Or do I want to glue it on the inside as a tuck? I think against the music to break up the print on print. Let me fold. No, that's just silly. So on the outside of this page, we're going to stick this right about here. And I just want to make sure it's glued down well. Well, it's not straight, so boy, oh boy, guys, boy, oh boy. And I think I will do, you know what, it's bugging me. There we go. All right, I think I'm going to round these corners, neaten this up a little bit. And then we will glue this in right here as a tuck. And I'm going to do a two-sided tuck again. I'm doing the two-sided tucks because I want to try some of those. I want to try some, just folding some journaling paper up and tucking it in. Which was the other reason I haven't put a lot of coffee dyed paper in this book for journaling yet. Because I'm thinking about doing the folds, the folded papers that go in the tucks, seeing how much journaling space that puts in the book, and then adding paper. I might only put in one I might only put in one piece of dyed paper per signature if I've got enough folded, you know, pull out journaling things. Okay. Guys, I am seriously considering hot gluing these pockets. It has to do with how poorly it was put together the first time. And now I'm trying to use these pieces and they don't want to cooperate. So, yeah. I mean, I'm not surprised. It's just, I also don't want it to fall apart. So my thought is, well, I could use hot glue. All right, so that goes back in there. And I'll see if I want to break it up on the other side. So let's flip in. I keep getting confused where okay, so let's flip in here. All right, so that's there and that's there. And then we have this, which if you took a dark pen, you could write on there. All right, and then we have, this is a pocket or a flip down. Calendar paper. Ah, okay. Now this is the one where I extended it with, I don't know that I need to extend this page because I think this is the one I put the dragon on. Maybe I could put this here. It's very not straight. You know what I could do? Sorry, guys. There's going to be a lot of tucks in this book. This is going to be a tuck book. I'm going to cover it on, I'm going to put it on a scrap of paper. Scrap of paper. Goodness gracious. Okay. These are supposed to be my clean scissors. I keep cutting gluey things with them. But this is the part that's always hard for me because I want to maintain the tear. No, that didn't do too bad. I want to maintain the torn edge. Let's get rid of this and trying to grab it and I keep grabbing not it. Oh, here, I'm going to put some ink on the top of this. Maybe grunge these up a little bit. Also, all right. So you guys get the idea. I'm going through and taking the altered book and repurposing parts of it. I am really liking this idea. I like that these pieces are getting used. I even like how this is turning out better than I like how the altered book was turning out. The ephemera, not all of it will probably get used. Obviously not in here. I mean, I'm not going to be able to get it all in here, but I hate it when it starts getting out of whack. Okay, so there, and then here, and then we put this in here. This has got to go in here. Nope. I'm going to put the music back, and maybe I'll find something else to go there. And maybe I won't. It all depends. That isn't my signature center, though, is it? Oh, this is my signature center. I was like, wait a minute. Okay. So yeah, that does go up against there, though. All right. I can move the calendar page. I could do that. So it's the book page and then the calendar page rather than the other way around. Oh yeah, that's much better. I like that a lot. Okay, we're going to do that. Okay. Now, the question is, are we doing anything with the book page on this end? And I'm kind of wondering if I have any of these that could be cut down short, or this one could be folded around again. Hang on just a sec, guys. Okay, so, sorry about that. I had to pick my son up from work. We were looking at putting a wraparound on this one. I'm hoping that we can at least get to the third signature, and that means we will get half the book done with the pages. So let me see about getting, I think I already ran the bone folder over this, but it's being, you know, and it's crooked. So I've got wide glue margins. I can trim it a little bit. I don't want to trim it too much because then it'll end up, or it's just not folded straight. That's also a possibility. But we are going to trim a little bit off this edge, clean it up a little bit so that we can get it in this book quick. And then this will finish off adding things to the second signature. We'll take a peek in the third signature and see if there's anything we can do in there quick. And then I will call it, and I will probably do the other 3 signatures, you know, same idea, using the stuff from the altered book to add things to this book and repurpose some of these. You know what, we're going to offset these. I like the offset look, so well, maybe. Oh, maybe not. Yep, there it went. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'll put this punch over as far as I can get it. I'm not going to be able to get it over too far because, yeah, they're kind of staggered. Like that. I like that. Okay, so corner rounding. find some ink. So if you guys have, you know, projects, I'd love to see, like, if people have projects that are coming apart or that, you know, you stopped in the middle of and never finished because they were, you know, for whatever reason they went wrong. They weren't holding up right. I'd love to see more of this repurposing idea. I think this is a cool idea. Okay. Now, we're just going to glue this in here like this. Make sure it fits and everything's good. And we're going to glue it as pockets again. So, once again, it's going to be one of those things where I have to force it. Yeah, I mean, just the nature of, like I said before, just the nature of how I built this book and the what I know now versus what I didn't know then. When I went and picked my son up, I didn't put the pin back in my glue, so now it's acting up. Hopefully that got it. Okay. Just want to make sure I'm lined up here. But anyway, so I like this thought of giving the things new life. That's why I said I would love to see other people's, like, if you've got one that you don't like how it turned out and you want to either rework the book itself or, you know, like I'm doing with this one, I'll reuse these pieces all over the place. So this one is not getting turned back into a book of its own. But you could do that. I mean, you could take the book apart and rework the pieces so that they fit together better, or they fit together, period. If your book is too thick, or maybe remove some stuff, add some stuff, fix some stuff, whatever like that, and just rebind the book. Because, you know, it's paper, right? So, I mean, none of it has to be, I don't want to say permanent. I mean, the idea, of course, once you make it is hopefully that it lasts, but you know what I mean? If you end up making something and it doesn't turn out the way you thought it would. Of course, a lot of people, I also have to say that I respect the idea of hanging on to, like, this was the first altered book I'd ever made, and this was my learning curve book. I respect the idea of, all right, what's going on here? I can see all the way through, which means this is not gluing. What you call it? Holding on to it for, you know, to look back on and say, you know, this is where I started. Okay. So we have, there's some of that paper. Remember, we used it as a fold around pocket in the other one. So that kind of ties it in. Oh, we have another one of these book pages. Oh, okay. So, this was going to be a tuck. This is going to take a lot, guys. It's not going to be simple. I will say that. This is another one of those ones that is, oh, that's not a pocket. This is, though. let's clean this up. Okay, so the first thing we have to do, and actually I'm going to take off the bottom of this. I'm actually just going to make this pocket shorter. Okay, that definitely cut into that pocket, so we have to glue it shut now. Okay, that takes care of that. We hope. Come on. The problem is with all the layers that are here, my layers don't glue together necessarily really well. Because remember the air pockets, right? So if I cut open one of those air pockets and I don't put glue in all the layers, it ends up being open, like right there. Which, to get rid of bulk, I'm just going to pull this off of here because I don't want it. I'm not using it as any of the decoration, and these pages are really thick. I must have put some glue in there. Okay, and then we're going to trim this edge because it's kind of raggedy. We'll just line it up at the half. I'm not trying to take a lot off of this. I just want to, actually, yeah. I just want to trim this kind of raggedy edge here where the layers didn't line up even when they got glued down. And because my glue margins are so wide, that did not come open. Okay, and this is closed back here. So now we have a nice little pocket to glue in. And I am going to round all my corners, I think. All right, and we're going to glue this in here. Okay, did I decide I wanted it with those? Or in the middle? I think I'm going to put it here and I'm going to move it so that it goes here. We're doing a lot of rearranging as we do this also, because the pages, I put the pages together based on how I like the way they look together. And now that we're changing the way they look, I'm changing the order of the pages. And of course, like I've said, I have not put any dyed paper in here, but I'm waiting until I do some folded journaling paper to tuck into tuck spots before I go too crazy. Because remember, this little accordion book, little I say, has 6 signatures. So I don't want to make the signature. That's why the signatures are so small. It's not a huge amount of pages in each signature. I keep standing it on something, and so it keeps falling over. All right, let's make sure that we're not interfering with the crease of the page and all of that. Okay, and then we're gonna this book probably would have been better served cutting out these little pieces and using them as like embellishments and stuff like that. Oh, I'm squeezing all kind of glue out all over the mat. My mat is in such bad shape right now. that takes care of that. And then this again is, I mean, I could fold that back out and just trim it off, but right now it's a tuck, and I couldn't use it to make a flip out. So I haven't taken those out of there yet because of that. And then this could use some embellishing along this edge, depending on what I do for this flip out thing. Okay, and then on the other side, this side, now that we're doing it like this, so that's going to go in there like that. I actually can't decide if I like it better there or here. I kind of like the flowers better here. I mean, I know the colors don't exactly match, so we'll just have to figure out what to do about that, but I think I'm going to leave it like this. So we flip over to the other side now and figure out what we want to put on this side that goes with that. Oh, that comes off of there. Shoot. This is a little book. Opens up. So don't hate that. Can take this tape off of here because its purpose is served. Maybe we'll trim that edge up a little bit. All right, let's put, so we're using this, we're going to do 2 pages on this one. And I think this will be it for this video, because I got to look and see what I'm going to do with some of the other stuff. And I think that what will end up happening is when I come back, hopefully, as I've said before, this particular book happens to be the one that's sitting on my shelf and not getting a lot of attention. So hopefully I can get in and do some more of the taking apart of this stuff and seeing where I could fit it in some of the signatures if I'm going to fit any more. And then when I come back, we'll be working on other things and I can show you progress like we've done on some of the other ones. I think that ruler moved. Oh well. Okay, that still fits okay. So let me round, actually I'm not going to round all the corners this time. I'm only going to round the outer corner. It's slightly off at the top, which is okay. Maybe I'll do something to embellish the top of the page. I don't mind having, I still haven't put any like ruffles, fibers, that sort of thing on any of the pages in this book yet. And I don't mind having, you know, some of them sticking out the top. So, hooray, hooray. My dryer is done for the day. Actually, it's not. I have more drying to do. Because I don't know if, I can't remember if my washing machine is as loud as my dryer. But my washing machine is still running, which means I have more drying to do. Okay. Enough talk about my laundry. I'm trying to get this all squished down, but there's that pad up there, so I'm making sure I don't tear anything or... Okay. Okay, now this goes in here. Now for this, what I'll probably do, like I said, is I will glue some things to this to make flip outs. Okay. And that goes right in there like that. Look how far out those stick now. I'm going to have to do some page trimming, guys. Okay, well, I hope you guys like this whole idea of repurposing an old book that, you know, you wanted to breathe new life into, that's been sitting around, that you haven't known what you're going to do with. And I hope that you will give it a try. If you do give this a try, maybe use the hashtag, and that way I can come and see what you're doing, or, you know, give me a mention, or, you know, whatever. And that way I can come find your video. I would love to see how other people are repurposing things. I linked Tina's video in the Making with My Mess that we did, where we took this book apart. I'm sorry if you're looking at the back of my head. I'm trying to do these clips. I will link her video in this. I'll link her video in the description box for this one too. And I will see you guys in the next Pick a Project video. Bye-bye.